You are standing in line. Your phone is dead. 30 seconds pass, and something in your chest starts to itch. You reach for a pocket that has nothing in it. That itch has a name. It is boredom. And for most of human history, it was not a nuisance. It was a survival system. Scientists used to think boredom was just an absence, a gap where stimulation should be. But the real answer is far stranger. Boredom is not empty. It is a signal. A very old, very specific signal that your brain sends when it decides you are wasting your life. Think about that for a second. Your brain is not bored because nothing is happening. It is bored because it has judged that what is happening is not worth your attention. That judgment evolved for a reason. Psychologist Sandi Mann, who has spent much of her career studying boredom at the University of Central Lancashire, found something unexpected in her research. People who were deliberately bored before a creative task performed better afterward than people who were not. Boredom did not shut the mind down. It pushed the mind to wander, and wandering minds solve problems that focused minds cannot. Your ancestors did not have Netflix. They had long stretches of nothing. Hours of walking, watching, waiting for prey or weather or danger to appear. And that emptiness was not wasted time. It was thinking time. Boredom pushed early humans out of repetition and into exploration. It is the reason you eventually got up and looked over the next hill. Here is where it gets stranger. Researcher John Eastwood at York University helped define boredom as the uncomfortable feeling of wanting to be engaged in a satisfying activity, but being unable to do so. Notice what that means. Boredom is not laziness. It is a mismatch. Your brain wants meaning and cannot find it in the current moment. That discomfort is the push. Without that push, you stay still. With it, you search. You call a friend you have been meaning to call. You start the project you keep avoiding. You notice the world again, the way you did as a child, when every hour felt 3 times as long because your brain had nothing better to do than pay attention. But something happened to that system. You gave it an escape hatch. Every time the itch of boredom appears now, you have a device in your pocket built specifically to kill it in under a second. A study led by psychologist Timothy Wilson found that people would rather give themselves a mild electric shock than sit alone with their own thoughts for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That is how uncomfortable an unfilled mind has become. Which means the system built to push you towards something better is now being satisfied by something that pushes you nowhere at all. You feel the itch. You scroll. The itch goes quiet. But the searching, the wandering, the actual work boredom was designed to trigger never happens. You have found a way to relieve the symptom without ever hearing the message. What if the boredom you keep escaping is not a flaw in your day? What if it is the one part of your mind still trying to get your attention, in the oldest sense of that word? Not entertainment, attention. A demand that you notice your life is not being used the way it could be. Ancient humans could not silence that signal. They had no choice but to listen to it. And it built new tools, new stories, new alliances, new ideas about the world. You can silence it in under a second. And every time you do, a small, ancient part of your brain goes quiet without ever finishing its sentence. So tonight, when that itch shows up again, in line, in bed, in the space between one tab and the next, try something different. Do not reach for the escape hatch. Sit in it for 1 minute longer than feels comfortable. Notice what your mind reaches for when it has nowhere else to go. That itch in your chest was never the enemy. It is the oldest message you have. And the real answer to what it wants is not stranger than you think. It has been sitting quietly inside you this entire time, waiting for you to finally stop and listen.